I'm hoping this is up. I'm really, really, really hoping this is up. All right, great. Is the sound okay? Also, is there any video or anything? All right, I'll go raise my mic volume. Apologies, this is not. Um, yeah, I have not done much of this before. Okay, that's the best I can do apparently. Let's see. Da, da, da. I apologize. Why are you doing this? Okay, sorry about that. All right, so Jeremy's on Toga Patriotic. Um, no upgrades yet. No, already one upgrade, which is not displaying or updating. Really sorry about this, guys. Okay, so we should be getting a list from Albion, and I'm assuming he's going to pick up cards and the deploy list. And meanwhile, Joy looks like he's on his way through the standard rustic mechanical opening. Get your 8 workers. Get to the farm. Start getting your lists. Use your last produce produce 3 times there. Use your 4th produce to get some metal and your last enlist. With he's going toward the farm slightly closer to the tunnel, which is interesting. Can you get the upgrade on the 2 resources here? You would like the move upgrade if you can get it. And then your first produce will get you an enlist for 2 popularity, so that's fine. By the way, guys, I can try to put the bids in here, but I don't want to cause any more issues. So I'm just going to read them out and put them in the chat. I also upgraded move and deploy and took 2 metal. That makes sense. Time produced. And he's going to set up to move to the metal. Crimea on 4 popularity. Might be able to try to get to tier 2 to help him cover his bid. Tune, I think that's certainly possible. With the bid of 21, I could imagine that be the case. It would certainly help, since Crimea Innovator's main advantage is just that it's so much faster than everything else. Although, also not sure why audio has seemed to have cut out, but can you all still hear me? So what would I take for Tagawa? Okay, great, thank you. So you've got 2 popularity for an enlist. You don't really need that because you get them on produces, although it's not bad. Does the wood for a building help you at all? What would I do here? It might still be worth grabbing that enlist. They went with the wood. I assume it's going to be trade metal, get a mill or something. What's the building bonus? Neighboring lakes. Um, huh. If they can get a mill on their tundra, that would actually be very interesting for them. All right, Albion already next to the factory, still on 3 workers. Up 4 workers. Rustviet doing Rustviet things, producing, getting in lists. Probably will start with the combat card enlist. Oh wait, already did. Oh, already started with the combat card list and then got the deploy. Yes, that was their second list. Okay, so they traded for metal, and yeah, we see a mill on the tundra. So Tagawa's going to get a lot of upgrades here. They definitely could just get the upgrade star. I don't imagine they were originally going for it, but on the patriotic board, it can just kind of happen. And I think this is one of the cases where it will. Plus, if they can get 3 bottom row action stars, that will help out with the fact that it's not necessarily easy to end as an IFA faction. They're in pretty good shape suddenly. Crimea has 5 popularity, so with their enlist bonus, they're going to get to tier 2. That's going to be a big game, especially since right now Albion's combats would be from off their character, and there's no workers there, so that's a source of popularity of combats without popularity loss potentially. All right, Rustviet already has their speed mech. Okay, Tagawa producing. Going to 7 workers. That's interesting. I wish it would show me what upgrades they had. Okay, so that's really good for Albion and really bad for Tagawa, the fact that they managed to get the flag on the factory. Means at some point, I assume they're going to have a rally mech, and they'll have a lot easier time controlling that flag factory, and it will never be trapped, so that's going to be a lot of annoyance for Tagawa. All right, let's see what their factory card is here. Something that gives them mechs would be very nice. Also interesting that Albion has not been going for any upgrades. The upgrade star is a lot of coin on the engineering board. Okay. Why does it not show me what they got? I unfortunately do not know what Factory Card Town is offhand. Um, oh, thank you, none. 2 coins for enlist would be a little weird though, because they should be able to get their enlist pretty easily just off the move. They already have the food for it. Ah, there we go. It's registering now. It's 2 coins for a mech and a power. So they have a way of getting mechs. That was pretty good. All right. Rusviet on 3 mechs already. Township. Still in the lead. They're in pretty good shape. Though we'll see what happens when Crimea hits their tier 2 and starts spreading. That should change the score quite a bit. Interesting with the trap on the village. I have to assume that is purely for or territory control, and that they're planning on getting all those workers off of it. Okay. So Crimea gets their their factory card. And probably a pretty cheap combat. I can't imagine Albion really wanting to contest this. Um, although the rest of it's going to counterattack. Oof, that is rough. Contested and still. And Crimea is taking a popularity factory card. So that will keep them in tier 2. If it weren't for Scout, Albion could try to make a mech and immediately factory card to the factory again with Rally, but I don't see that working. Yeah, no, this is much better. Just get the encounter. Move upgrade would be pretty nice. Um, hmm. Do you spend the popularity? That is an interesting question. They do not want to. And Albion's a bit behind, even with the 0 bid. Well, technically they are still in second place, but that's not going to last. They are only 1 point ahead of Crimea, only 1 point ahead of Rasviet, and well behind Togawa. That's just not the shape they want to be in. That said, with that mech, they can move 2 workers to the village, get their third enlist, produce, get their worker star, and the food for their fourth enlist. So their stars are coming. Um, hmm. So Rasviet's going to want. Okay. No People's Army, so that's an interesting attack. I assume they're going to have to send at least one more guy. There we go. And will they attack the factory too? They definitely could. They'll be scouted down to 4, scouted down to 3. That will be rough, but you can do it. Let's see. What does Joy have in mind? Feel like he needs to get ahead of Viemer and do it and end the game fast because Viemer now has that popularity card. But they're not going to have very many, if any, cards left after this. Um, Fumer's got to be able to just factory move to take that back and get a second combat. Also very good for Albion, um, who can potentially get a cheap combat when he wants to move anyway. So Joy is down to 0 cards and 1 power. Um, and he needs one more produce, so he's not even spending. Well, yeah, he needs one more produce is to get metal for the remaining mechs. You can skip the top row for the enlists, but we'll see. It's currently in the lead. That's not so much going to hold once he loses the factory, though. And I don't see how he ever claims it. Also, not sure. What is the plan there if you're Rusviet? You have no popularity, so you can't produce. You already took popularity and list bonus, I believe. Um, Toka, that's not too surprising with the character placement going after the Crimea's mountain. I don't really know how well that will work, but it is interesting. So Viamer can attack and get his combat there, but and just throw like at 2. Though then he'd have to lose his metal. I don't think he wants to do that. I assume he's just going to factory move, get 3 workers onto the village, and get his other mech and get one of his mechs in position to do what he wants. And have his tier 2. We'll have 0 power to go along with them at that point, but he'll be in tier 2. Well, maybe they were thought just to maybe they were thought just to taking your combat while it's there. All right, so factory card. Okay, and yeah, it's just that is interesting. Though no one could really punish him for it. Albion, I assume, has to move 2 workers to. Oh, that is not at all what I was expecting. So it's going for his enlists, his upgrades. Upgrades after all. Okay. Anyway, they're certainly going to enjoy the free combat. Ha ha ha. Not even throwing the 1. Knowing that Joy still needs to produce. Although, popularity is already a problem there. What do you do here? Oh, yeah, no. Get the encounter. That gets you your popularity to get your last produce. That makes sense. Just gotta move one more worker to metal, I think. Because then you can skip your bottom row. Your top row the second time, yeah. Okay. And then whatever this is Joy is choosing option one. Uh, Maybe move to one of these tunnels and hide on Polonia's or Saxony's village. That doesn't really work because VMware would just factory card you. You can actually move to Albion's village and be safe. Um, it's not flagged, so Albion can't get there. They can and factory move, I guess. Which A makes a mech in the position, and B means both mechs can reach. But no, okay. So just moving to Saxony's village and getting the popularity. So that isn't an eventual second combat for me, VMer. Take a look at the scores real quick. So this should be a 2-star turn. Next turn, I assume factory move is going to spread some of those 8 workers, or pick up 2 territories and get a combat off Joy. And then it's just a matter of spread for your enlist. It's currently at 44. That's 23 after bid. That's probably good enough. It's not far behind anyone else, though technically in fourth, I think. But he's going to have 2 10 to maybe even 18-point turns in a row. Definitely at least 10. So if you're Albion, do you have a way to prevent this? Not really. The you need to spread to those flags though. Next turns, I think, has to be a move action. Get your last enlist and cover all those flags. So Crimea can end this turn because they have the combat on Rusviet's tunnel, and the enlist would give them the popularity back. Since I don't believe they claimed that bonus yet, but I don't think it would win them the game unless Togawa doesn't really do much. Because they're not in great position to spread. So they're looking at a pickup of one, maybe two territories net, plus 2 stars is 14 minus 2 points off the food is 12 plus a coin to 13. And they are currently down by, see, they've got 23. Togawa's at 30 and Alamein's at 29. So that would put them at 36. It's possible. Attacking Albion on the factory is possible, but they have no power. If Albion has even a 2 4s, you can't win that. And you really don't want to give Albion a star here. We'll see, though. First, we have to find out what Joy does. I imagine he can just get his mech off that tunnel. He's got to move. He really can't be giving VMware that combat. Okay, so he is moving. I assume Albion's metal tunnel plus this village is next, and this mech just picks up another territory somewhere. Nope. That is not where it's going. That's interesting. Don't actually know why he's putting so many cards there. So many characters there. He only has two cards. One if Crimea attacks him. Ooh. I am not sure about that. I am super not sure about that. That puts him at 35. Mm. Mm-mm. $37. So Vimmer has to get to 58 here. It's 8 from the stars. He'd need 4 territories. More if that's a coin trap, I guess. Yeah, I don't even think Vimmer is hurt by Togawa's move. He spreads. That's the combat when he wants it. Who's going to stop him? Granted, with this being a move action and not factory, um, can't double attack later. And he really needs to be able to attack that with 2, I think. Still, uh, Joy is always a combat he can take. Sitting at 2 cards, so that's 1 post theft, no power. Viemer has no problem one-on-oneing that. Question is where he spreads for the rest of his stuff. Probably wants to bump Tagawa somewhere. Since he still gets the popularity bonus off the enlist. Nope. That was apparently it. And he did not enlist either, which makes sense. He doesn't want to be able to make himself vulnerable to suicides. What mech did he take? He took sword. So that should annoy Viemer somewhat. Ooh, if he loses the food, that is super bad. That is also interesting, though. I would have very much expected it. I would have very much expected it Albion to assume he's contesting. I guess there's not too much you can do there, though, because if you win, you go down to one card, and Vimmer can just take it back on the factory move. Okay. So if you're Joy's using this one little break to produce. Viemer can't end on his turn because he can't move. So he can't get his last star. I imagine we're getting it produced from Tagawa, get the enlist star, and grab 2 more oil. Still, how does anyone actually stop Viemer? He can factory move this turn, get a bit more spread, store that food somewhere safe, and move next turn. picking up 3 more territories and a star. At the very least, you've got to give him 6. 10, 19, 18 more points. Putting yourself at 47 is a good start. Yeah, I'd imagine that's where Crimea is going to hide. Nobody can get to Nordic space. Well, um, but yeah, he still has the problem of Tagawa has a lot of points. He has to beat Tagawa by 19, I believe. Um, and he can pick up, I think, 18 points in the next 2 turns by my count. And even bump one of Tagawa's territory, but that's still Jeremy's going to do something on his next turn. That's not going to be fun to cover. Is there a scenario where you take the factory? Not really. Oh, he has his normal move action. I was certain it showed him use that last turn, but that must have been factory move. So no food for Viemer. And nothing stops. King Dada Dog should have his move action available. Nothing stops him from just spending that food. Right? Because I believe he factory carded last turn. Yeah. Losing the food there is really bad. The problem is Albion only needed a 3. Um, sure, he'll only have 2 cards after the scout, but hmm. Let's say he had done that. He ends up with 3 more territories. 9, 14, 54, 58. The other problem there is even with everything else, I don't think he actually covers his bid, even if he wins that combat. Right? Because from my count, he'd have 9 territories. That's an additional 14 points. That puts him at 55. 59 with the star. That's not 20. That's not 19 above of Jeremy. No, I mean without tier 2, he's well behind. But with tier 2, um, I think he still doesn't cover it. He'd only have 58 or 59 by my count. Um, 19. It's 21 to 2 are the bids. I mean, now Jeremy's in great shape because Power Star's coming. Sorry, Upgrade Star's coming. Mech Star's coming. One more combat rear objective. Albion is more or less keeping up. Hmm. Still behind. I'm Tagawa, and I think has less of a clear path to 6 stars. though he's only behind by 2. And that's with Crimea on one of his flags. And he's at 6 popularity, so um, 58. 56. Hmm. All right, that puts him at 55. Um, and he needs to be 14 above Tagawa and 16 above Albion. Though he still has at least 2 turns before it can end. Well, 1 if his objective is already completed. Picking up a nice star and a couple territory. and gets his 5th upgrade and his objective. So Tagawa is 2 turns from ending. Viemer, I assume, got his move upgrade. Yep. Albion, can you get tier 2 here? Yes, but it doesn't really help you. Viemer throwing to end this turn. What do you do if you're Albion here? Yeah, no, um, I don't believe they can get an encounter. If they controlled this tunnel, they could. Um, the bigger issue is tier 2 doesn't help them because they just don't have any territories. I mean, I, I mean, I believe Tog has 2 turns, right? He's got to trade for oil and then just move. Um, he is 418 ahead of Rusviet. 1, 2, 3. Five. Seven potentially. If Joy can end on his turn, I think Joy wins. Um, because he is currently down by 18. I believe he can net 7 territories off Tog plus. Oh no, there's no way he can get the enlist and the. You can't get the enlist off the move. Okay, so that's not a problem. That's not a thing. No, no, no. Sorry. Yeah, no, he can't get the enlist off the move. He can put himself in first. Though then he has to be a bit careful. Oh, that Viemer can't end. Yeah. Yeah, he can. He should be able to steal 3 of Tagawa's territories, but then I think Viemer would be in position to end the game, which is so that doesn't work. Because Viemer still gets -1, 8, 12. I guess just 12 points off his last turn. I don't know if it's Tagawa's game, but certainly Tagawa is the player to stop right now. Um, see what Joy does. So he has the enlist star, but that's not enough. Okay. So enlist star plus threat into end next turn. Okay, so Tagawa trades for oil, preparing move plus upgrade star. Crimea is down by 21, and there and down by 5, 10 there. So covering Russ's bid, no problem. Covering the 21 point deficit. Oh, sorry, 19 on Tagawa. I believe they only net 12 off a simple move action here. Um, yeah. Rustfeet needs objective. What can Crimea do? You can't spread because two players can end before you and you can't stall them out. Um, can you push Russ enough that it forces them to bump to Gallant? I don't really think so. If they had one more popularity, that would have been really cool had it worked. So now the question is, Joy is up by 5, down by 9, 3 territories plus a star. He should have this. So close by Jeremy, too. It's just a question of, is his objective doable? Although, maybe it's not that simple. Um, hmm. 1, 2. Maybe it's not that simple. 3 territories plus a star isn't actually a given. Especially, as long as the mountain isn't a coin trap, he should have it. Right? Because Mech can move to mountain plus forest for 2. One of these workers moves for 3, or the mech moves for 3. Or, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. As long as that is not a coin trap. If it's a coin trap on the mountain, it doesn't work. Well, so he has to actually be able to complete the objective, I guess, clearly. And that's not a given. Um, I believe he needs to. And I don't. He needs to net 4 territories off Tagawa because I think Tagawa has tiebreaker over him. And I only see. Well, that is a way of doing it if you can win the 1-on-1. But with Ronin, that should be tough. Oh, there is no Ronin. Okay. So that works. Now, as long as he has an objective, he wins. Northern advantage. There we go. Very hard fought by Jeremy, but Joy manages to take it away. A 56-52. Well played, Joy. And really, really, really hard fought by Jeremy. All right. That's it for now.